Hi, welcome back to the channel. We're here. It's Elevated Times. I have a cat in the corner here. His name is General Glebus. Hi, General Glebus. He's very cute, very neat. He's also a monster who keeps attacking me, and he's purring right now. But he's really evil, and I just want to make sure that everybody else knows that because he pretends not to be evil, but he really is evil. Yeah, General Grievous, we know. Oh, that hurt. Wow, my hand. It's not a toy. General Grievous does not care. I'm sorry for flashing you with the light so many times. I know the video just started. Anyways, like I said, welcome back to the channel. I say that every time, but it has been on like 2 months since I've posted, 2 or 3, and it's not like I have an upload schedule. But I did say I was going to upload more videos, which I have not. And it would be a lie to say that it's only been because of stress. But at the same time, it's just kind of hard to find the time to make a video, as well as find a good reason to make a video. And I want to make sure that my videos are at least structured and factual, and I just haven't been. I'm lazy. So, uh, fuck shit ass. Fuck shit. Fuck. Bitch cunt. Fuck shit. Get flashed again. Sorry. I had to get all the cursing out. So, welcome back to Elevated Times. This is the channel. I want to complain about a lot of people. But there's other people that are much more worth complaining about. And I think that everybody at least knows those people. Donald Trump is doing a little bit of regressive history where he is like banning the museums that have, well, he's not banning them, but he's banning the exhibits, right? Of like slavery and like the slave history and the like regressive symbols that we've used throughout like the 19th century, the 18th century, all the way back throughout the whole history of America. Basically they're not even whitewashing the history, being like, oh yeah, we slaved them, or like, and then this great president saw this solution. They're just completely erasing it, which is just, I don't know. In no world is it okay to just erase history, whether it looks good or bad, or whether you think that it's destroys the image or character of the nation. That's not for you to decide. Personally, I think that it adds to the character, and as we evolve, it makes it look like cooler because it's like, see this ship? Yeah, we're all past that, but you can see it still. Look how jarring it is. We would never do that again, right? But erasing it shows like it allows for that to happen again without like a direct mirror to it. It's exactly what Hitler did. He went through and he burnt a bunch of books and stuff that were that made him look bad and made the country look bad, basically. It is really like a fascist move to do, because it's like such a warped view of like loving your country, and loving your nation. I forget what it's called, but basically it's patriotism without hurt. It's like you love this country because it's free, but you actively don't care about all the things that make it free. Like, for example, saying that gay people shouldn't exist, and then saying that, like, certain people shouldn't say a certain word. It's the same thing, and it's really dumb and backwards. And we should really move past that and look at like how we can move things in the future, as things like AI and robotics take over um, more basic jobs. Because, like, think about it: if we had like a bunch of robots working in a coal mine somewhere, right? That takes away those jobs of coal miners, which means that they could do other things, for example. But it also means that no one's getting crushed or like utterly asphyxiated under a bunch of fucking coal and exploded whenever someone fucking accidentally clicks a fucking button in the wrong area. It's like, come on, guys, we gotta think this shit through. So, I honestly do think that, let's say 2050, like jobs like that will become more and more like we're sending machines to do most of the most dangerous parts of that labor, right? And so, my bad, I'm flashing you guys all the time. This light's right here, and I'm looking directly at it. And I don't know how um, loud I'm being. If I'm even coming across on the screen. See, it's still very bright. Um, like I said, man, there's just and so as more and more jobs get replaced by AI, more people can do other things like making stuff, for example, that people would want because it's made by a person. There's so very many things that people would prefer human interaction with. Not everybody wants human interaction, and that's exactly why robots will take over in a lot of places, such as like self checkouts, for example. Very simple example of where, like, for robots do the job of what for cashiers would have done. You know what I mean? So that's for jobs technically replaced, right? Jobs that would be people having to pay a person to sit there and do something that a robot can do on its own. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what a register is. It takes away some of that agency from that person actually working at the register, which means that technically less and less labor is being done by the people, which means that it is kind of justifiable to be like, yeah, no, but that's like a high schooler level job. Anyone could do that job, and so why should we pay those people a higher amount whenever they're basically doing a job that a 12th grader would do? Like, I'm over here working in finance, I'm doing big boy work. So, like, that's kind of how people justify it. They're like, yeah, no, but they've made choices to put themselves in those positions where I've made better choices that have elevated me. And that's just not how things work. Some people struggle more as they get older, and some people can buckle down and do that shit. But there's a lot of shit involved, and not everybody has the resources or the contacts or the knowledge to do all those things. Not saying that it's impossible for them to get those things. I'm just saying that not everybody has the ability to strive for those things um, all the time. But as robots take over, which I don't know, maybe they will. I don't know. I also, apparently Donald Trump died. There's just a lot of other stuff. He made it illegal to burn the flag um, for like a year. So like you get a prison sentence for a year and it's a federal crime, correct? Me if I'm wrong. Um, but basically, yeah. So and so a bunch of veterans went over to the front of the White House and decided to burn flags, which they were arrested. And will presumably get prosecuted accordingly and be put in prison for a year. However, I watched the like Legal Eagle, right? I'm not like a fucking lawman, right? I don't know shit. But he said that that will be fought heavily by the court system because it is an infringement on the First Amendment, which is freedom of speech, which says, and there's like articles that say that flag burning is a symbol of the freedom of speech and does not, in fact, destroy the perception of the flag as like a symbol of freedom. It actually amplifies it because it shows the other countries that hey, we can even do this shit. Like you can't do that shit, right? We can do that as like a firm protest to be like, hey, we don't like what's going on here. We don't support the country right now in your decisions as its current runners, you know. But Donald Trump effectively is taking away freedoms of speech. There are firms of criticizing the current uh, ruling figures of our democracy, right? I don't know if I'm using those words right. I think I am. I like to think of myself as a pseudo intellectual, you know. I feel like that's very high class, very highbrow. Yes. As I live in a RV. Besides the point. The point is, I just don't think it's gonna go through. I mean, it's just like crazy, man. Like, that's nuts. We live in a wild world. It's like the Wild West, except on a presidential level. And I'm just like, damn. If we only had somebody that was like Donald Trump doing this shit, just pushing shit through, right? That was actually doing it for the betterment of our country as a whole and all the people here. Like, could you imagine if if like we got some kind of president there that was just like all refugees that come here and anybody seeking citizenship will get citizenship within 3 years after a small educational period. Like, I don't know, man. Something like that where they're just like, hey, y'all can come here, but like y'all need to like attend these seminars, and then by the end of it you do a test, and then if you don't pass that test, another 3 years, and then you take the test again, and if you can pass the citizenship test, you become an American. Bam, I just quickened the pace and I fixed the illegal immigrant problem by turning illegal immigrants into legal Americans. Bam. And I didn't have to waste tons of taxpayer dollars relocating people. Thank you. Thank me. Another 10 years. No, I'm kidding. But that'd be funny. Like, could you imagine if Donald Trump extended the like length that a person can be a president, right, to like another 8 years supposedly, and then he dies because he is an old guy, you know. People thought he died after he was missing for 3 days. He's obviously alive, guys. Come on. Everyone knows he's alive. They took a bunch of pictures of him golfing. Pictures that are definitely not AI, because it's not like the president released an AI video of people in the office just saying really crazy shit that was completely fake to show that things can be AI. I don't know if that was the president, but I know there was a bunch of fucking like Democrats or something. I don't know. Republicans, Democrats, y'all are nuts. Definitely getting that mixed up in my head. Again, I'm dyslexic, and that means that I get political parties mixed up. Don't come at me. Come at dyslexia. Okay, it's like somewhere over there, and it's like a concept, and it's like a thing. And I suggest y'all fight that instead of fighting me. And that's my position on dyslexia. But no, I mean, I don't know. Shit's cool. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything. It is bad. We need to get an apartment, and I am kind of going crazy. Not gonna lie, and whatever. Basically, I should be an actor, but instead, I'm. Jeez, I can't think. I'm struggling to find good middle ground between my internal feelings, my tools that I have picked up from like anger management, and my future goals, trying to keep everything together the way that I want, as well as like expediently exit out as much as possible. And I haven't really been thinking about how to do that, and I definitely haven't been executing anything. And my problem is that I haven't thought through or executed anything. I mean, I've thought it out, right? I know what I want to do. I just need to execute it properly, which means that I need to get my social security number card, and I need to get a couple other things set up, and then I need to teach myself how to drive. My brother's helping me. God bless him. You know, dealing with my bullshit. I mean, look at me. I'm crazy. Did you just listen to my political opinions? I just said Donald Trump's a great guy. Everything I said was about him being amazing. So, I'm obviously mentally unstable. No, I'm kidding. But not. I am thankful for that, at least. I wonder if he's still sleeping. I was waiting for him to go to bed to make this video, and it's a long video, so I just don't want to wake him up. That's kind of why I'm trying to be quiet. But yeah, no, besides that, I just want to be able to get into my own place and finally be able to like actually have a setup to record, go to work, and come back and do basically what I want to do, which is a lot of bullshit. And I really want to shave, but then I'll have to shave like every day, and then it will look weird, right? Or it'll go in even thicker and longer next time. Like, look at me. My hair used to be still long. Okay, but yeah, no. My family is crazy. I love them, but like I'm like talking about my extended family right now, not my closest relatives. I'm talking about you people. You know who I'm talking about, okay? I love you guys, but like, come on, like, what's up with that? Like, I barely did anything. That's my piece. That's just nuts. Plan on making this a long one. It's basically a podcast. I'm watching Dr. Stone. I know that one of the characters dies, and I'm not happy about it. Because he's not supposed to die, he's supposed to live forever. Eternally. As all my favorite characters do, because I cannot handle change. Met a girl. She's cool, cute. I can't currently give her the attention she deserves, and I feel pretty bad. And she's giving me an out, but that out will leave my brother in a bad spot. I think a spot very similar to where I was not too long ago. And I'm not trying to put us both. I'm not trying to put myself in a better spot if it means putting somebody else in a worse spot, because I feel like that's selfish. Uh, but like, I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, man, it's time I make a selfish decision that might actually help me out in the long run. Long run. Uh, but that's so dumb. It's mean. I don't know. Because my plan from the beginning was to make it all work together and to get everyone uh, to a good spot eventually, right? But it always seems that my self-sacrificing tendencies are more or less self-destructive, just like my self-destructive tendencies tend to be more or less self-destructive. Um, because it's like self-sacrificing, right? And it gets to the point where some people think that they can like push a little bit more than you would normally push on other people, not because they're bad people, but because I didn't make those barriers clear. So they thought that it was like okay, I guess. You know what I mean? So like I guess that's my bad on my end, right? But anyways, that's besides the point. Like for example, I've had to cut off friends because I gave them money, they asked for more money, and I gave them more money, and it just didn't work out. So I had to cut them off and be like, hey, I can't give you money, and like you talk to me, and you always ask for cash. I don't care if it's $2, $5, or $100. I've given you plenty of cash. You're good, bro. Like I need money too. I'm also struggling. So like there's just things like that, you know, just being overly generous to and overly um calm and understanding at a, to an extent, I guess. Because yeah. Okay, I'm not trying to wake him up. Also cuz I'm not also trying to be like, oh yeah, all this shit is still affecting me. I mean, it's not. I'm honestly done. And I kind of want to move past it all and think of a different face and a different way of like moving through things, right? So that's kind of what I'm at, where like I just kind of need solution on my own. Uh, if people are going to be rude and overextend their reach, then I just need to stonewall them. You know, like I just need to use my um, anger management techniques, which are really like coping mechanisms, and it's honestly kind of a mix of like Eastern philosophy of meditation and stuff like that. But basically, I just need to use that, you know, get into that mental frame of uh, calm and I don't know, man. I don't know what to call it. But basically, they taught me stop and think, right? Stop and think. And that is basically stop, what is the problem, what's going on, and then you like think of the solution, right? That's basically it. Just anytime you have an emotion, think of what's going on, and then come back if it's a crip or you need to set a boundary. And then if they continue crossing that boundary, you know, like I need to protect myself and honestly either step out, give them no energy, um, directly call it out, move away, or let them like run their wheels because like a lot of people nowadays, and I'm not trying to cast shade, but people kind of suck, and you can honestly just let people run their wheels, especially if they're already being kind of assholish, and they'll eventually uh, catch themselves out. Like truth always wins over uh, deceit because truth vibrates on a higher frequency than deceitful behavior. And what I've noticed is whenever you give people an inch and they take a mile, they tend to start doing that everywhere they go because they think that they can, and they'll get themselves